Today we're diving into one of the most popular but most misunderstood economic tools in America, tariffs. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what tariffs are, why countries use them, who really pays for them, and why they'll matter no matter who sits in the White House. But we're also going deeper than the headlines, because tariffs don't just change prices, they change entire industries. We'll look at how a simple tax on washing machines ended up costing Americans $1.5 billion a year and why dryer prices mysteriously went up too. Why one of America's oldest economic debates, going back to Alexander Hamilton, still shapes your paycheck today. Let's start with the basics. What is a tariff? A tariff is simply a tax on imported goods. When a product crosses into the United States from another country, the U.S. government can charge the importing company a fee. That's it. Foreign countries don't write checks to the U.S. Treasury. American importers pay the tariff. Think of it this way. If a company imports $100 worth of steel from China and there's a 10% tariff, they pay $100 to the Chinese supplier and $10 to the U.S. government. The total cost? $110. And that higher cost flows downstream to everything made with that steel. Tariffs come in two flavors. Specific tariffs charge a fixed amount per unit, like $50 per ton of steel or $2 per pair of shoes. These are straightforward, but can become outdated as prices change over time. Ad valorem tariffs are more common today. These charge a percentage of the product's value. For example, a 25% ad valorem tariff on a $100 shipment of electronics from China would result in a $25 tariff payment. This method adjusts automatically as prices rise or fall. So let's ask a bigger question. Why do governments use tariffs at all? There are three main reasons, and these reasons have shaped American history for over 200 years. The first reason is revenue. In early America, tariffs were the federal government's main source of income, since the country had no income tax yet. And even today, tariffs still raise money. U.S. Treasury data shows the federal government brought in about $195 billion so far in fiscal year 2025 from tariffs. But revenue is only one part of the story. The second reason is protection, sometimes called infant industry protection. Alexander Hamilton wrote about this idea in 1791. He believed new American industries needed time to grow. He argued they could not compete with powerful British factories right away. So he said the government should shield them for a while. This argument shaped early American industry. The third reason is leverage. Tariffs can be used to pressure other countries. They can be used in negotiations. They can reward partners or punish rivals. And when one country uses tariffs, the other often responds. This back and forth is how trade disputes escalate. Now let's talk about what a tariff actually does to prices. In basic economics, when you tax something, the cost goes up, and that cost lands somewhere. Often, it lands on you. A report from the Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco estimated that a 25% tariff on all imported goods could raise consumer prices by about 2.2% overall. The IMF studied 151 countries over 50 years and found that tariffs hurt economic growth. And the Richmond Federal Reserve found that pass-through rates are often near 100% to consumers. If you want to see this in action, look at washing machines. In early 2018, the U.S. placed tariffs of 20 to 50% on imported washers. Three economists from the Federal Reserve Board and University of Chicago studied what happened next. Their results were surprising. Washing machine prices rose by about 12%. That was about $86 more per unit. So far, that makes sense. But here is the strange part. Dryer prices also rose by about $92 per unit, even though dryers had no tariffs at all. Retailers knew washers and dryers are bought together, so they raised prices on both. And the total cost to consumers reached about $1.5 billion. But the number of jobs created was around 1,800. That comes out to roughly $815,000 in cost per job. That is the math behind tariffs. So who wins from tariffs? And who loses? The winners are clear. The government collects revenue, domestic producers gain protection, and their profits rise. In the short term, they look like winners. Now let's talk about the losers. The first group is consumers. You pay more for goods. The second group is downstream industries. These are companies that use imported materials. When steel or aluminum gets expensive, car makers feel it, builders feel it, manufacturers feel it. They either raise prices or absorb the hit. Both choices hurt. They may lose sales. They may slow hiring. They may invest less in the future. Tariffs also reduce competition. When foreign options shrink, domestic companies face less pressure. They innovate less. They improve quality more slowly, and prices drift higher over time, and your costs rise. So you might be wondering if tariffs ever help a country grow. The answer is yes, it can. Some heavy manufacturing industries in Asia grew stronger with short bursts of protection, but these were paired with strict performance rules. Companies had to improve fast. They had to meet global standards, and the protection did not last forever. Even so, the core lesson remains. Tariffs work best as a tiny, targeted tool. They fail when used as a broad, long-term shield. So, let's wrap this up. Do tariffs work? It depends on the goal. If the goal is revenue, they work. If the goal is short-term protection, they work. If the goal is long-term competitiveness, the evidence is weak. So why do tariffs keep coming back? One reason is visibility. The benefits are easy to see. A factory stays open, workers keep jobs, leaders take credit. But the costs are hidden. Millions pay small price increases, and jobs vanish quietly in downstream industries. And consumers never see the connection, since the winners are loud and the losers are silent. Another reason is emotion. Tariffs tap into ideas of fairness. They appeal to national pride. They make it feel like a country is fighting back. So tariffs will always matter. Understanding the real costs and benefits and help you make informed decisions about the economic policies that shape your life. I hope this video gives you a deeper understanding of tariff. Please like and subscribe for more simple money stories.